The ACC championship is here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SlasherU. I'm your host, Christian Rao, here with my co-host, Steve Feck, and we're going to break down the ACC conference championship game. The Clemson Tigers will take on the North Carolina Tar Heels. 10-2 Clemson against 9-3 UNC. Both these teams are coming off losses before the conference championship. UNC actually coming off 2 losses in a row. We're going to see if Clemson can get back to their standard, or if maybe there's a new kid in town in the ACC with North Carolina. Steve, I know you got some pretty serious thoughts on this one, maybe some hot takes, if you will. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the ACC championship game.
Well, I can actually sum this ACC championship game up in 2 words: Drake May. And then I cannot say anything, which probably a lot of the listeners would actually enjoy more. But if I just say Drake May, that says it all. Okay, we are witnessing, and I'm a big history buff. This is the decline of the Clemson Empire. We saw some of the crumblings, in some of the buildings and some of the foundations last year when Clemson somehow found a way to not get to the ACC championship game. But this is the downfall. And I don't say that with any malice. What Dabo Swinney has done since 2011 has been nothing short of spectacular with this program. But every team eventually has to step back a little bit and reimagine what they want to do. We saw that with Alabama. I mean, Alabama is a very good football team, but they just simply didn't have what it took to win some of the really most important games in the SEC. I think Clemson, Notre Dame took them to school, and I thought that maybe they would have learned their lesson from that. But the South Carolina game showed us that no, they didn't learn squat.
When you talk about Notre Dame, that is something that both these teams have in common. They did lose. Both these teams did lose to the Irish. And that is something that concerns me more about the Tar Heels, actually, than Clemson, if you will. And I know that might sound interesting to you, but when I remember that game against UNC, that defense was dreadful. I mean, we really found out how terrible UNC's defense was in this one. And that's why I am skeptical to think that the Tar Heels will win this game. And I think that Clemson is going to hang on here. I think Dabo's not going to lose 2 in a row. And he's going to keep himself, get to at least 11 wins on this one. And that's why I'm going to take Clemson with the -7.5 on this. However, I think it is going to be right at that line. So 7.5 is touchy, right? That's just over a touchdown. So it's really got to think it's going to be a 2-score game. I do think Clemson can get that done. I think Drake May is going to be amazing. I wonder if he stays at North Carolina next year or transfers to somewhere bigger. That's something to keep in mind. A lot of people think that his name might be swirling around here in the future. But with Clemson, the reason that I like this team to win the ACC championship is because the worries of North Carolina's defense. I think that they can go pound for pound back and forth with each other, but at the end of the day, I think Clemson's defense will outweigh North Carolina's defense, maybe get 1 or 2 more stops, and that'll just be enough. That'll be enough for Clemson to get the win on this one. We've seen some good things from Clemson's defense, with the exception of their secondary at some points. I know Drake May will probably eat that up. But when it comes down to it, I think that defensive front of Clemson might get to Drake May, might get to their running game a little bit, maybe cause a 1 extra punt or maybe 1 extra turnover, just enough for Clemson to get this win, Steve.
Dabo Swinney is going to be saying and muttering in his little headset, Drake Mayday, Drake Mayday, Drake Mayday, looking for answers from the coaches up in the booth. Give me something that we can solve this. If Clemson scores 40, North Carolina is going to score 50. If Clemson scores 60, I can see North Carolina scoring 70. I mean, that's how convinced I am. This kid is special. Remember, he's a freshman. So not only was he offensive freshman of the year, he was player of the year in the ACC as a freshman.
Yeah.
And that includes some games. He had some games. He's not going to have it here. He's playing in his hometown. This game's being played in Charlotte. This is his hometown. He is going to be the difference.
Drake May, 3,847 yards, 35 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the season. Yeah, I mean, he's really good. I know that by far. I think he's going to have a great game. I just, for some reason, can't rule out Clemson. Can't do it yet. Maybe I haven't seen the fall of the Empire. Maybe I just haven't seen that yet. Maybe my mind will change once this game is over. I know they've had some tough goes so far this season with South Carolina and Notre Dame. However, I just can't see it yet. It's just not in my scope. I think Dabo's still got something up his sleeve. I'm sure we're going to hear him talk for probably at least over 2 minutes during the halftime conversation he has on him. He always loves giving us some really deep, thoughtful things in the middle of halftime. So we'll see if he goes trending again on social media for that one. But let us know your thoughts in the comment description below. Who do you think is going to win the ACC championship? Does Clemson go back and get another win in the ACC title game, or does North Carolina hop in there? Both of them are coming off a loss, so a win is definitely a must for both these teams. North Carolina looking for their 10th win on the season. Clemson looking to go in 11-2 and to solidify themselves in an NY6 bowl. Let us know in the comments below. And thanks for watching SlasherU.